Adam Smith and the Foxes looking for back-to-back wins in the first time in the 2019 USL Championship season, coming off of a very convincing win over Los Dos last weekend, and of course their Open Cup win at the midweek as they play host to Marcelo Serrano and Austin Bold FC. Tyler Terrence along with the former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey. And Gary, while we hone in on this Fresno side, Qudus Lawal has just been on a different level in terms of scoring goals. 3 goals in his last 2 games, and he is one of our players to watch, presented by Onakar Fresno.
Yeah, exciting new player to the squad, the Nigerian, 23 years of age, picked him up in the summer. The coach saying, we don't know what to expect, so how did the defenders know what to expect from this man? Super talented and so exciting to watch.
And on the other side for this Austin Bold team, they're struggling to score goals. However, if they are going to find them up top, it's probably going to be from this man in Kleber.
Yeah, the opposite story here. He's 35 years of age, been around a long time, mostly in Brazil. 3 goals in 6 games. He knows how to score. He knows how to get past goalkeepers. This man has supreme knowledge and talent, and he could cause problems for Fresno tonight.
And Gary, 2 teams that like to get back behind the ball and defend as well as try to get forward. How about tonight's road to victory brought to you by Travel Shop? What are we looking at?
Well, you mentioned the defense for Fresno. Got to keep it tight. They're conceding less than a goal a game, and that's really good. In terms of scoring, I think Christian Cheney is an ideal man to get the ball to, as well as Lawal, of course. For Austin Bold, were very good at home, but shocking away form. No wins in 5. Good day to change all of that. And if you want to do that, get it to the lads up front. We mentioned Kleber, the other one, Andre Lima. Both of them experienced goal scorers.
Austin Bold FC coming off of a 2-2 draw against Braden Cloutier's side in Orange County Soccer Club. Fresno, as we mentioned before, looking for back-to-back wins, and in the Western Conference, that might just propel you up into the top 4. It's Fresno and Austin on a Wednesday night when we come back. Almost set for kickoff here at Chuck Chansey between Fresno and Austin Bold FC on a Wednesday night in the Western Conference of the USL Championship. Tyler Terrence along with the former Manchester United keeper Gary Bailey. And we'll take a look at the starting 11 brought to you by El Mexicano. Gary, straight up 4-4-2, no changes from the win against Los Dos.
Yeah, why would you? You won 3-0, keep the same team, and it's a strong team. And up front, of course, Lawal and Cheney, they can score. Jackson's pace on the right-hand side is going to give Austin Bold a few problems here tonight.
And Lawal, of course, coming off of that brace. Cheney had some opportunities in the first half as well that Adam Smith thought that Christian probably should have finished, and I'm sure he'll get an opportunity or two tonight against this Austin Bold side. And we'll take a look at their starting 11 for Marcelo Serrano. And Gary, this back line is just littered with experience.
Yeah, many players in their 30s and having played MLS level. Kleber's back up front, so those two both 35 years of age. They're going to be a handful. Turpak starts out left, which means Guadarrama and Saramutan go to the bench.
And of course, Sean McFarland on that right-hand side, providing a ton of pace. The Jamaican lightning quick out on the wing, and these two sides looking to continually improve their start to the 2019 season. For the Fresno Foxes, with a win tonight, they could jump into second place. Meanwhile, on the other side, for Austin Bold FC, they can really improve their position as well, and they can jump to as high as third with a win tonight. Fresno going to be in their Navy kits, and Austin Bold FC in their all whites. And it looks like our head referee for tonight's match, Malik Badawai, is ready to go. We hope you are as well, as we are officially underway from Chuck Chansey. Tyler Terrence along with the former Manchester United keeper Gary Bailey. Glad to have you with us. 3 points up for grabs in the Western Conference.
Yeah, big game for both these teams, and you mentioned it earlier on, a win propels them right up the table, and Fresno in particular, a win and they go second, with games in hand, by the way. So much to play for as Fresno are at home. Austin Bold, a very poor away record, no wins in 5, so a win takes them third, and it ends that bad run of away draws and losses. So much at stake for both these clubs here tonight.
And tonight's injury report brought to you by Physio Motion. And for Fresno, Alex Cooper continues to nurse that hamstring injury. Austin Bold, a clean bill of health. The foul will go against Austin. And Gary, in our conversation with Adam Smith just a couple days ago, he was quite pleased with the performance against Los Angeles Galaxy too.
Yeah, said it was the best game of the season, so very happy, and that's why he hasn't changed anyone. Why would you? And he's got to keep that going. It's such an exciting season for him. Last season didn't quite happen, fell outside of the playoff places, but the start they've had much better. The form is good, and as I say, a win takes them right up into second position. Just
with one loss on the season, the Foxes, and it was to a Sacramento side that they truly did play off the field. However, sometimes the game can just be oh so cruel, and it was Sam Warner with the game winner midway through the first half, and then they come back and respond after their first loss of the season with that 3-0 win against Los Dos. Jackson got things started. Let's get a nice look at him. Right around the half-hour mark from the penalty spot. Then it was Qudus Lawal, not once but twice on either side of halftime. As Malice with a low free kick. Tierpak gets a foot to it, but it's going to come out the other way, says Malik Badawai.
Seems to be indicating an elbow up. I didn't see the flag come up for offside. So maybe there was some pushing and shoving going in the box. Referee rules. And keeper gets a chance to knock it down the pitch.
CJ Cochran sends it away, looking to find the big frame of Christian Cheney. And this time we'll go out in the other direction.
He's a big unit, isn't he, Christian Cheney? Strong, 3 goals in 7 matches this season. And 24 years of age, he's still got a good career in front of him. In fact, what a combination, him and Lawal. Lawal a year younger at 23 years, 2 goals he's scored, the Nigerian. And you add in Jackson's pace up the right-hand side, and those 3 can cause any team loads of trouble.
Down for Seth Moses. Fresno forced to get rid of it as Austin Boulder coming out with a bit of a press in the opening 3 minutes of this one, as it was a late challenge. And it should be a free kick for Austin. Jamaican Kamar Phillips fouled on the play. And another set piece opportunity. This almost the identical spot that Callum Malice hit one from just a few moments ago. Jermaine Taylor, another Jamaican, stands over it. Moses wins the header and clears it away. Good defensive work from the 25-year-old from Baltimore. Now it's along for Christian Cheney. Running at this experienced back line. There's a slip on the near side, and Jackson was naked on this near side as well, Gary, but the ball couldn't quite find the Brazilian. And very physical start to this one.
He was very close to being in, wasn't he? He had a chance there. There was space for him. The ball just couldn't get through. And just shows you how good Fresno are. We just mentioned those three up front and how they combine. I think they can give any team in this USL Championship a real problem. Three excellent strikers there for Fresno.
Judas Lawal, good hold-up play, finding Jackson. Lawal trying to go back for the Brazilian. It's off of his heel. Didn't know much about it. Now it's through. Could be an opportunity on, and the topo just flashes wide of Restrepo. But a great early opportunity for Fresno at home in the opening 5 minutes.
Kuramoto with a chance there, and it seemed to open up in front of him, didn't it? The defenders were a little bit slow to react. He just pulls it wide. You can see his response as he grabs his head and goes, oh man, I should have hit target. Restrepo relieved to see it go wide.
We mentioned at the top of the broadcast how Christian Cheney, in the eyes of Adam Smith, probably should have finished a chance in the opening 5 minutes in Southern California last weekend against Los Dos on that Sunday night. Fortunately, they were able to get the penalty. Adam Smith even wasn't sure that it was the right call in the penalty area, but he's certainly not going to complain about it at this point. But a conversation with him saying that he thought that his side were worthy winners no matter what. And Gary, I think that you could probably agree with that as well. More or less played Los Dos off the field on that night.
They certainly did. Scored some decent goals and very impressive. A stronger team than we saw last season. I think it sort of takes a while to get the team to mold together, and Adam's done a good job doing that. Whenever you're away from home, a victory is good, but a victory by 3-0, very impressive.
Cheney on the turn. Jackson might be able to get there, trying to bring it down. And last touch coming off the pacey number 7.
He is quick, isn't he? You look at Christian Cheney's power, Lawal's pace and trickery. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to keep mentioning it, I think those three up front are going to cause all sorts of problems for this Austin Bold side, which, by the way, and you picked it up front, they do have a lot of experience in the back. Phillips 35, Taylor 34. They know how to defend. They know what to do to manage the likes of Cheney. I just think it's going to be a tough afternoon for them, though, or evening, I should say.
Feeling all right?
These time differences across America. We don't get time differences across England, you know.
No. Moses trying to bring it down. Cheney trying to help out in that cause. Good turn from Basulovic. Opens up a bit of space for Fresno. Zach Ellis-Hayden getting forward. Now Jackson looking to switch the point of attack, but sort of in between Cheney and Elijah Martin.
A little shove in the back there on Kuramoto. The normal pleading innocence, but the referee's not having any of it.
To plead your innocence usually means you're guilty.
Yeah, it's a standard response if every player gets blown up.
Here's Elijah Martin trying to get to the outside. Gets in play by Kuramoto. Basulovic in for Kuramoto. Good interplay here from Fresno, but broken up with the help of Chris Tierpak and Austin Bold. Adam Smith was quite frank with us, wasn't exactly sure what to expect from this Austin Bold side, as they are an expansion club, much like Fresno a year ago. And they just continuously change up their tactics, change personnel, formations, and love to give the opposition a different look, as this one has a bit too much on it.
What he did say was to expect pace from wide from McFarlane. We haven't seen much of him so far, McFarlane, but he is quick down that right-hand side for Austin Bold.
Oh. Chance here, flag stays down. Cheney couldn't quite get around Restrepo. Now it's Jackson, and finally Austin will be able to pick up the pieces.
What a chance there for Cheney against Restrepo. Restrepo doing extremely well, but once again, Cheney gets a good opportunity. He does so well to get into the right position. And Adam Smith has said this a few times. He doesn't score as often as he should. And there was another good example.
Comes Austin, and that delivery was scuffed, and we'll get another look at that opportunity for Fresno.
Long ball comes through. Let's have a look. It's a mistake by the defense. There we go. Cheney's onto it. You got time. His first touch just gets away from him. And Restrepo reads it brilliantly and makes a second block. So well done, the keeper. But Cheney will look at that and think, should have done better. One-on-one with the keeper. Should be tucking those away.
Cheney again trying to flick it on. It's such a weapon to be able to have that sort of number 9 Gary, who can really go up and win most aerial battles against the center back, and then have some of your quicker players in the likes of Qudus, Lawal, Jackson be able to run onto that flick.
Absolutely. He's such a physical specimen, Christian Cheney, but he's a good player as well, a good finisher, which is why it's frustrating for everyone when he gets those chances we saw a minute ago and misses them.
Malice trying to go in for tier pack. It's actually very good defending from Ellis Hayden in the end, as this one has a very open field to it after the first 10 minutes of play here at Chuck Chansey.
Good defending, Ellis Hayden. By the way, let's just rephrase that. Christian Cheney, I didn't miss it. It was saved by the goalkeeper. Got to give the keeper some credit there. Very quick to close him down, Restrepo, and made the second save from Jackson as well.
Former keeper yourself, I was surprised that you were putting so much emphasis on the striker and their lack of quality as opposed to the other way around. Delivery won by Jackson initially. Austin will keep it. And Troncoso's pass goes out of play.
Comfortable Fresno at the back, just passing it around. Not too much pressure from Austin Bold. They were able to take a quick throw in and keep possession. Now look at this attack down the right-hand side.
It's Ellis Hayden on it, lashes it across, forces the challenge from Jermaine Taylor, and now a corner on the other side.
That was all too easy for Fresno. Austin Bold didn't pressurize the throw in, didn't chase the ball down. Fresno were able to build, switch play to the right-hand side, get it down the line, and in the end it was a hasty clearance by Austin Bold. So maybe not enough effort being put in this match so far by Austin Bold to close down and win possession back from Fresno.
Vasulovic on the corner. It's an outswinger. And it was mistimed by Del Campo, and he's very frustrated with himself because it was very good delivery from Vasulovic in the end.
It was a good delivery, and it was a good jump. And the bottom line is, if you're not going to head for goal, head it back into the middle and give one of your other players a chance to toe poke it off the line. But to miss the target completely, you could see his feeling. Ramon Martin Del Campo not happy with himself. It goes back to Restrepo, who, but for him, Austin Bold could have been 1-0 down already.
Jackson puts in a good challenge and keeps it in play. Now sliding one through, Qudus Lawal onside, tries to help it along for Cheney. It wasn't a bad idea from Lawal. Maybe should have taken it himself, and Fresno with another opportunity that goes by the wayside.
Another big opportunity here, Lawal. A lovely ball here from Jackson. He times his run, Lawal. You're right, he did go for the pass. He's got to go for the shot, surely. I think he thinks the same. Lovely ball through from Jackson. You're one-on-one, 3 yards out. Either he was going for the far post and mishit it, or he's going for the pass and mishit it.
It seemed like he was going for the pass, and I don't mind the idea because you'll see that a lot, right? Because the keeper comes out in the angle, and if you just slide it across, you know you have that runner on the back post. But as you said, you're one-on-one with the keeper.
3 yards out.
You have to.
You've got to have a go, absolutely. But you can have a go on the keeper's right-hand side, the left, as the Wild's looking, so the keeper doesn't hold it. It drops for whoever's going to follow up. That's what you can do. But to try and pass the ball, very unselfish, but probably not the right decision. Andre Lima not happy with that. Bang to the head. I'm sure the 34-year-old from Brazil has seen plenty of that over his years.
Does it make it easier to deal with after you've seen a 10-plus year career?
He's probably just fed up of being kicked and shoved and hit, which happens to strikers. But I mean, to be a 34-year-old striker and Kleber 35 and still fit and playing just shows you how well they have looked after themselves.
Now a set piece opportunity for Austin. 15th minute now. It's Callum Malice. Drives one in. Well done from Elijah Martin, but he just skies it. Tierpak wins the initial header. Kept in by Kleber. Tierpak again. Another just partial clearance. Mickey Daly gives it away. Kleber just pushes it along for Tierpak. His first time delivery, just trying to peel it back for Lima. And it's going to come out the other way. Austin were looking for a foul call.
That's a lovely cross from Tierpak. Question marks up front as to why it was given, but Tierpak does so well down the left to get this ball in under huge pressure. And then it's a bit of a 50-50, and in the end, Andre Lima getting blown up. But have a look at Tierpak's pace here. And as he's being tackled, pulls that ball back. Yeah, difficult one. Two players going for it at the same time, but the defender gets brought down. Andre Lima then is deemed to have given the foul away. Nice and comfortable for Fresno at the back, but they've got to be looking at the chances they've had. Kurimoto was through, Cheney was through, the Wild's been through. And they could be 2 or 3 up already, Fresno.
Here they come again. Jackson along for Martin. Coming out to defend is Sean McFarland. It's like a runaway freight train whenever he's running at you, either with the ball or without the ball.
Very, very quick short corner coming up.
Martin's got plenty of time and space to deliver. It's a great ball in. It's just over the head of the wall. Austin with some beautiful football to play out of tight quarters, and now it's Chris Tierpak. He slides it along. Lima at the back post. Troncoso. Awkward for Fresno, and finally Ramon Martin Del Campo gets it away from trouble. And for two sides that defend pretty well, Gary, this has a very nice pace to it.
Exciting game. Opportunity, another good ball in. Oh, just headed over as well from Andre Lima. Good balls being played into the box from left and right there for Austin Bold. Have a look, lovely ball in, lovely bend in it, nice height. Andre Lima gets up. That is not too far away. I'm not sure that CJ Cochran had that completely covered.
Saw Marcelo Serrano in the background of that shot. Knowing exactly what kind of opportunity that was. Lima getting a free header in the penalty area. Not exactly a sure thing, but pretty darn close.
I just wonder if Serrano hasn't put this team together to do really well. It's not a long-term project where you're building up and bringing kids through. He's got 6 players over 30 years of age. I think he's decided, you know what, we're going to make an instant impact and get ourselves into the playoff spots. And I think got every chance, Austin Bold. They're a really good, experienced side.
Troncoso and McFarland, who's on the ball now, the 2 youngest players on the field for Austin at 26. Now another corner coming up for Marcelo Serrano's side, and Malik Badawai not happy with the verbal disagreement that he and Del Campo have found themselves in.
I think what he's basically saying to him is, let me referee the game, you play the game. Don't tell me what I have to do. That's just typical of players trying to get into the referee's head.
Another set piece opportunity. They're continuing to rack up for both sides. The Chilean Troncoso.
Yeah, the dark arts that happen in the box, the pushing and shoving, the holding. If there's no VAR, which there isn't, then all sorts of underhanded things go on. And it's almost impossible for a referee to see it. He just has to sort of warn people wherever he can. As a defender, you've got to be careful because if the ref just sees you, the downside is it's a penalty.
Troncoso's delivery. It'll fall for Malice. He finds a little avenue, blocked in front, and the follow-up shot from Jermaine Taylor. skied into the bleachers, but another good chance.
That's right,
If that drops to Andre Lima or Kleber or Tierpak and Marco Wynn, but Taylor at the back, have a look. Callum Malice there takes a bit of time, opens up a gap, but then as it drops to the big central defender, wallop, and over the bar it goes. Well, maybe there was a deflection then. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, it's a goal kick. I thought for a second he'd given a corner. Yeah, it's typical. It comes to a big centre back and it just gets ballooned over the bar.
CJ Cochran sends it away. Of course, before Fresno spent some time with Nashville, who won the first edition of Wednesday Night Soccer, as Christian Cheney almost had another opportunity. Nashville coming away with a 1-0 win over Birmingham. Daniel Rios with the lone goal from the penalty spot, just past the hour mark, as Nashville are finally starting to put things together in the 2019 campaign, as Seth Moses waiting to come back on. He had a bloody nose for just a few moments.
Just looking back at Christian Cheney a minute or so ago, as we look at Seth Moses getting the treatment. Cheney once again, good ball over the top, good opportunity to bring it down and get a shot on target. Doesn't happen for him. But it's not going to happen every single time a striker gets the ball. And maybe he'll still prove us right that he has the ability to score goals in this game.
Ellis Hayden, it's bottled up by Tierpak. And here's Baez. McFarland slips while playing it, but able to find Tierpak, who cushions it with a deft first touch. Moses scampering back out onto the field to help his comrades. Baez continues to be calm, cool, and collected in the middle of the park. DeMar Phillips all the way to the other side for Troncoso. Actually scored his first goal for the club against Orange County in that 2-2 draw. 2 goals scored in the 43rd minute.
What were they, 45 seconds apart?
About 30 seconds apart.
30 seconds apart. It was an exciting game. 2-2 draw in the end. Let's hope we get something here similar today, because there's certainly chances at both ends. They just haven't hit the back of the net yet.
It's an interesting touch from Cheney. Was he taken down? Malik Badawai actually pump faked his whistle to his mouth and elected not to make the call.
Good skills though, wasn't it, from Cheney? As we said, so much talent this young man's got. And he keeps trying. The one thing he will not do, from what I've seen of him, he won't pack in the game. He won't drop his head. He'll keep pushing. He'll keep fighting. That's what I like about him.
Fresno on the move after the turnover. Jackson, plenty of numbers forward. Jackson all the way across. And Qudis Lawal is wondering why that wasn't on the ground to his feet. I'm sure that's exactly what Jackson was trying to do. And it is yet another counter-attacking opportunity for Fresno that does not result in a goal.
Just wondering if Jackson doesn't have a dipper goal himself again. Let's have a look at this. He's inside the box. I don't know if that's the right thing to pass from there when you can shoot. And you're right, if you are gonna pass, make sure it's a good pass. But how many good chances have Fresno had in the first 23 minutes or so? I mean, they should, to be fair, they should be 2 or even 3 up at this stage.
Well, that was almost a carbon copy of the second goal that Fresno scored in Carson, California last weekend. Jackson along the right-hand side, Qudis Lawal making a darting run across the box. It came off beautifully against Los Dos, but same play, different story.
I guess as a manager, when you see chances being missed, at least you're comfortable that chances are being created and players are in the right position. It's just the final piece of the jigsaw they need here today, Fresno.
Zach Ellis Hayden running right at Phillips. Great little move, but Phillips with a terrific recovery. He concedes a corner in the process, but for a moment it looked like Ellis Hayden had done the Jamaican.
Good pace down that right-hand side. The fans are getting excited behind the goal there. There you go, the drums are being played. I think they get the sense of Fresno, if they keep this pressure up, have got to get a breakthrough sooner than later.
Was Vasiljevic now. Toyota corner kick. It's a good delivery in, and Lawal.
Yeah, the body language tells you that he's questioning himself and saying, well, I did my best. Or have a look at it again if we can and just see how high up he gets. Could he have headed this down? Let's have a look. He's stretching. The thing is that there's players right next to him. There was Mikey Daly, who could have also come in there and headed that one in. So 2 blue shirts lining up to head in the box. I guess it begs the question, Austin Bold, where were your defenders? Oh, there's trouble there.
Cheney goes to ground. He got the ball initially, but the fact that it was late, the studs were up on McFarland. He's going to see mustard here. Not sure if Fresno has much of an argument.
No. The foot did come up, but yellow card it is, and I think accept that and move on. Cheney's arguing. I'd like to see it again to see what he's arguing about. Whether he says he got the ball first and then he was tackled.
Number 21 from Fresno FC, Christian Cheney.
The referee's giving him the eye there as if to say, stop arguing and get on with the game. Let's have a look at the replay and have a look. Does Cheney get to this ball first? Bad first touch. It's the raising. He thinks he got kicked, which he did, but he raised his foot to a very dangerous height. And that's what catches Sean McFarland. So Cheney's got a point. Yes, he got kicked, but in raising his foot, he could have done a lot more damage to McFarland, and that's why he got the yellow.
And Marcelo Serrano looks like is going to make a switch.
It's very early in the match, so one assumes there's an injury problem.
It was McFarland who was in question on that play, but he appears to be all right. But perhaps there's another injury on the field that we've not been made privy to just yet. But Marcelo Serrano handing in the substitution card. It appears that it's going to be Sarah Mooten coming on. Still waiting the official word of who's going to be subbed off. And it's going to be DeMar Phillips. Both sides, of course, still alive in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, the 106th edition. Fresno are going to be taking on Sacramento in the 3rd round. Meanwhile, it'll be a Copa Tejas matchup between Austin and San Antonio. Both games will be played on May 29th. And keeping everybody healthy is certainly at the top of both managers' list in Marcelo Serrano and Adam Smith. Here's Vasiljevic. Qudus Lawal wants it. He'll receive it. Back for Vasiljevic. Broken up by Baez. And perhaps a counter available for Austin. Lima goes a bit quickly. Del Campo able to get there. Savvy play from Cochran. Did he give Del Campo a bit too much work to do? The answer is no. Cheney trying to help it along. Allison for Kleber. It's a fortuitous bounce, still with it. Now pushes it out wide. Troncoso, back post. Won by Seth Moses.
Good little spell here for Austin Bold. They struggled the last 10 minutes. It's been mostly Fresno. They've got themselves on the ball, and here is this change. Assumption is Phillips has taken a bit of a knock and has to come off. Sarah Mooten coming on for him. Just wondering if tactically this change, you're taking off a left fullback for a midfield player, so they're going to go 3 at the back. We'll have to wait and see how their lineup changes with this replacement.
Sarah Mooten, originally from Camden, New Jersey. 24 years of age, actually celebrated his 24th birthday 5 days ago.
It seems that Jorge Troncoso has come to the left back position. And Sarah Mooten into midfield.
Something that Marcelo Serrano is certainly not afraid to do is tinker with the lineup mid-game, especially if it means keeping somebody healthy. Well,
no goals as yet, but not for a lack of trying and chances. There's been some wonderful opportunities, almost all of them, to be fair, going to Fresno, the home side. Been a little chance here and there for Austin Bold, but 3 or 4 really good chances for Fresno, and nothing hitting the back of the net as yet.
Well, Austin have only scored 10 goals this season. Fresno on the other side, a bit more with 16.
I don't think he had to flinch much, but
Austin, of course,
obviously
one of the better teams in terms of defending their own goal. Have only conceded 9.
But it's their away form that's the concern for them. No wins in 5, 3 losses and 2 draws. Only scored 3 goals in those 5 matches, and 2 of them were against Orange County. So something goes wrong for Austin Bold when they're away from home as opposed to at home. And if they're going to finish in the playoff places and go further, that's something they're going to have to sort out.
Well, we see that with another team in the Western Conference as well, in Las Vegas Lights. And not only have they not won a road game yet this year, but it's astounding. Their average conceded goal, Las Vegas Lights, on the road is the 13th minute. For the first time this year, they were able to stave off a team when they were on the road in Phoenix Rising FC past the 17th minute.
Yep, that's a problem, I would suggest.
But it's incredible how you can have such a disparity in terms of your performance, and you'd have to figure it's got to be something to do with the mentality more than anything. And now we're going to have an early substitution on the other side as Christian Cheney is going to be taken off, and Jaime Chavez will come on. Again, U.S. Open Cup very much in play. Christian Cheney not happy with the fact that he's being brought off. You can hear him. He's saying it's only been 30 minutes, but Gary, I'm sure you can attest to, you've won a few FA Cups yourself. Keeping everybody healthy and rotation is very much a part of keeping your form in league play, as well as being able to make a deep cup run.
Oh, absolutely. You have to mix and match. You have to rest players at the right time. I don't think I think the Chris Cheney thing was something else altogether. Whether it's because he's on a yellow card and they're worried about a red card, or there's something that Adam Smith is not happy with Chris Cheney. But certainly when it comes to the entire season, yes, it's a rotation job. They always say it's a squad game. And yes, some of the squad players might not play as regularly as the first sort of 11, the main 11, but you've got to bring them in, you've got to play them, you've got to keep them fit and keep them happy as well. And that's how you win the big tournaments.
Troncoso whips it in. Handled by Fresno. Now into the path of Cutis Lawal. Lawal trying to find Chavez, and a great play from Restrepo. Clearance denied by Jackson. He's able to keep it in play, and finally the Chilean clears the lines for Austin. Now, Gary, let me ask you this. Do you think it was strictly because of performance or the yellow card for Cheney? Do you think it was a sum of the parts Open Cup? I don't want to potentially lose a guy for league play and then have my roster become even thinner when I'm trying to rotate between Open Cup play and league play, as this shot attempt sails into the 13th row.
Difficult to say. I mean, Restrepo going down, by the way, made a couple of really good saves in this match so far, but very early to bring Cheney off when he's not injured. So the manager's not happy, and the player's not happy that the manager's not happy. That's a painful injury. No need to describe it in more detail. And so for Cheney, he's not done something the manager wants, or the manager feels that he's on a yellow, he's that sort of play, he's big and bustling. It's going to be one mistimed tackle and suddenly they're down to 10 men. So I'm not sure which it is. All I do know is that Cheney was not happy being brought off. And if the manager wants to prove himself correct, he's got to hope that Chavez scores a goal and proves him correct.
Well, Chavez was brought in as the guy, and the number 9 up top, because that was something that this Fresno side was very much missing in 2018. Chavez was supposed to be the saving grace, but with how well Cheney and Cutis Lawal have been playing, is now Jackson is going to go down.
He's got a hamstring. He just pulled his hammy there as he went to stretch to kick the ball, and he's hurting. This could be the second sub, and that would be so tough for Adam Smith, having made one sub that he felt was tactically necessary. This one, is going to be enforced through injury, and you'll be 2 subs down in what, the 34th minute? This will be very surprising if he doesn't come off, because once you tweak your hammy, yep, Adam Smith saying, get ready, you're going to be needed. Because a hamstring's a very tricky one to play on with. You can do some serious damage. Have a look here. He goes there. Was it this one? Yep, that was the one. He raised it high, and he just felt it tweak. And 9 times out of 10, that means get off, get the ice on, and give it some rest.
So we could have 3 substitutions between both Adam Smith and Marcelo Serrano before we reach the 40-minute mark.
That's a picture of a concerned manager. But he'll be happy with the way they've created chances, including Cheney, in that first 30-odd minutes. They've had plenty of good chances, Fresno. But of course, he'll be frustrated with this latest injury to Jackson, who's been so sharp this half. He's created opportunities. Maybe he should have shot instead of passing, but at least he's been in the right positions, and his pace has caused all sorts of problems, and he's definitely going to be subbed now. So 2 subs, 35 minutes into the game.
It's going from bad to worse for Adam Smith and the Foxes. And especially the form that Jackson has been in as of late. Had a goal and assist against Los Angeles Galaxy 2. The Fresno side that with 3 points tonight, as we mentioned before, can jump all the way into 2nd place. And this is going to be a very fun team to watch when they have all their toys at their disposal, but they're dropping like flies at the moment. And right now, Fresno will play with 10 men. And we'll see who Adam Smith is going to bring on to replace the injured Jackson. The wall gets it away for Chavez. A little bit of miscommunication between those two, and Austin will come back away with it. Hiramoto. Great first touch from Qudis Lawal. That's excellent. Over the pass just out of the reach of Chavez. Sarah gets it away. Here's Kleber. Troncoso getting forward. He started the game at right mid, and now was moved over to the left back position after DeMar Phillips was unable to continue.
I wonder if Austin Boulder just sensing an opportunity to have a go at Fresno with these changes and the concerns, and down to 10 men. Well shielded over the line there by Seth Moses. But Austin Bold might be thinking, well, now's a good time to strike. They're down a player. They're, I won't say confused, but when you have changes in a team, it does take a while just for those changes to settle in.
Well, you can go in with a game plan, have all of the tactical fixings that you would like, as Qudis Lawal just ran straight into Chris Tierpak. For Lawal, looks more like a head injury. For Tierpak, he was grabbing onto his back.
Yeah, it was a bit of a clumsy one, wasn't it, from Lawal? Lawal's a good player on the ground, but in the air, well, look, he's committed. He also got hit by Callum Malice there, so looks like everybody came off with a bump. Nonetheless, it's the commitment that impresses me on both these sides. They're both physically strong. We've seen some big tackles. Christian Cheney getting a yellow card for flying him with his boot up. So I don't think too many of the fans can question the commitment of the players.
But it's amazing how these two coaches can come into this game, Gary, and have this tactical plan and an understanding of the other side, and say to your team, okay, how are we going to break them down? How are we going to execute? And now with these injuries and the substitutions that you've had to make, now it's how do we get through this game with minimizing the damage?
Well, both teams have made changes, so I would look at it not as a case of minimizing damage, but just settling my team down and taking the opportunities to get past my opposition. And I think that happens so often in games that you either have injuries or substitutions. You get used to changing tactics on the run, and you should be able to, at this level, change your tactics minute by minute if you have to. And as we've seen, Jorge Troncoso coming from right mid to left back. He's a good enough player to be able to settle in there. And managers expect players. There's another sub coming on to replace Jackson. That's a second sub then.
So it's Diego Casillas, 24-year-old from Mexico, who has not gotten a ton of time yet this year. She played for the Fresno U23s in 2018 as his Toyota corner kick whipped in by Basulovic. Still loose in the area, and finally Tierpak helps it along.
And also when you make these changes, it's a chance for Casillas and others to come in and prove what they can do. So it's all part of the game. You take opportunities when they come along, try and impress the manager and become part of the starting roster.
Diego Casillas just making his 6th appearance. He's only played 114 minutes. Another Toyota corner kick, another Basulovic delivery.
Lovely ball, switch of play.
Basulovic brings it down, escapes Tierpak. His cross was low. Not sure if that's exactly what he intended. Troncoso trying to find Lima on the other end. Cool head from Kiramoto. How's that for a turn for Moses? Now at full strength, Fresno can try to put their Fox stamp on this one. As we are inching closer and closer to halftime here at Chuck Chansey. Tyler Terrence along with the former Manchester United keeper Gary Bailey. Glad to have you with us. 3 substitutes made by Fresno and Austin in the first half so far. DeMar Phillips for Austin taken out. Sarah Mouton coming on. A little bit of a formation adjustment for Marcelo Serrano. And on the other side for Fresno, Christian Cheney showed a yellow card. He was taken off, and then Jackson pulls up with a hammy. And those two were replaced by the likes of Jaime Chavez, as well as Diego Casillas, who sent that delivery wide.
Fox's next home match.
Certainly those 3 up front, Jackson, Cheney and Lowell, started off really, really well. Created 2 or 3 good opportunities. I thought they were fantastic in the first half an hour or so. And maybe should have tucked 1, if not 2 of those away, thanks to the goalkeeping of Restrepo that kept them out. And now we've got 2 of the 3 of them are off the park. But as we say, it's a chance for the others, a chance for Chavez and Casillas to come on and say, hey, boss, keep an eye on me. I can do the business for you.
Good challenge from Basulovic. Well, that high-flying pace and chances galore style of play that we were used to in the first half hour is sort of dissipated with all these new pieces coming on.
And Smith looking at it, just trying to weigh things up, and only 1 sub left. He's going to have to keep that sub ready for any injuries right to the end of the match, I would suggest. But he's seen enough opportunities for his team to know they should theoretically be in the lead. But free kick out there. You get the likes of Kleber and Andre Lima. It's a dangerous situation for Fresno.
Zach Ellis-Hayden called for the foul. Not putting it up argument, so more or less knows what he committed. And as Gary mentioned, definitely some set-piece specialists that can strike a good ball for Austin. And now some defensive organization to take care of for CJ Cochran.
As a goalkeeper, if you're looking at 2 players who have played in Brazil at a very high level, and they're 34, 35 years of age, both of them, you know, well, one of them there is lining up, Andre Lima, you know that they can do tricks. The Brazilians with free kicks, they can make it do all sorts of things. As a keeper, you'd be very worried at this moment.
Lima keeps it low, and Cochran able to hang on to it.
Good follow up there. That was the idea. Knock it low and then send the bodies in to follow up so the keeper doesn't hold it. You're knocking the rebound, but CJ Cochran, too good for that. Just gathered the ball, no problem.
That's how they scored against Orange County.
Exactly how they did it against the young goalkeeper Cervantes.
Yep.
Couldn't hold it. I think the ball had a little bit more pace on it, to be fair to Cervantes, but yeah, that was the idea. put the keeper under pressure, and follow up in case he can't hold the ball.
Casillas. Ellis Hayden back for Basulovic. Good first touch. Still Basulovic, and he yanks the shot wide. Chavez thought that he might have an opportunity at it. And a goal kick coming for Restrepo.
If he pulls it any further wide, it becomes a pass to Chavez. And if he keeps it on target, it becomes a shot. In the end, he got it between the two. Have a look here. Don't blame him for having the shot, but it was way off target. And any more way off target, it might have ended up being a pass. Once again, though, Fresno getting into the box of Austin Bold, causing problems. And I'm sure Marcelo Serrano is looking at that back four thinking we've given away too many opportunities. We're living on a bit of luck at the back, and eventually Fresno will punish us. So if you're Austin Bold, at the halftime, you've got to be tightening up your defense somehow.
Opportunity here for Austin. Shot blocked in front. Still there for the visitors, and cleared off the line by Ellis Hayden. Fresno wanted a handball. Now there's shouts for a foul, and the curling effort goes wide. And it looks like it took a deflection.
4 minutes of stoppage time.
Good moment there for Austin Bold, wasn't it? You thought, hang on a second, there's a real chance. Header comes in, but just unable to finish it. Let's have a look at it again. Quick throw in. Andre Lima plays it up, and you'll see in a moment the ball goes up in the air. Lima gets there first. Now if he picks someone out, that could have been the opening goal of the match. Just shows you how dangerous Austin Bold can be.
Punched away by Cochran. 1 minute gone of the 4 added on here in the first half at Chuck Chansey. Now look at the numbers the other way. Casillas tried to get it along for Cutis Lawal, with a good defensive play from the Chilean Troncoso.
Right idea from Casillas. He knew where Lawal was. He just couldn't get the ball through. That's the pace that Fresno have on the counter-attack.
Kuramoto, good ball. Casillas tried to knock it across. Jermaine Taylor gets a touch to it.
Wow, how many chances are Fresno going to have in that box where they just need to get that final ball on target, and it hasn't come as yet. Again, if you're Austin Bold, you cannot allow those sort of balls to be played inside your box and for it to land up at the feet of the attackers. Surely not.
Vasilovic clips one to the back post. Kuramoto putting the moves on and able to win another corner.
Good pressure from the home side. Just saying, it's a good time to score.
Is there ever a bad time to score?
Yeah, absolutely correct. But it's a very good time to score. Just before halftime, come in all happy and relaxed. Depends on the service. Let's see what service is coming into the box.
Another Toyota corner kick. Vasilovic lofted in. Header won by Chavez. Kuramoto working on Tierpak and Lima. Casillas goes to ground. He does not get it right. And now they're going to bring it back. Kleber's not happy that advantage wasn't played.
He's got a point. He had his head up. He was about to knock a through ball, but referee can't always give the advantage. Sometimes he sees it and has to blow, and I think players just have to allow the referee a little bit of leeway there. Frustrating as it can be. And there's the man about to kick the ball now. Restrepo, who so far has had the biggest impact on this match. Some important saves in that first half to keep a clean sheet for Serrano's team.
Lawal felt like he was upended. Austin come away with it. Maybe one last chance before halftime. Kleber. 1v1 with Daly. Daly with some great defending. And he came up a little bit lame. And that's going to do it for a very interesting first half here at Chuck Chansey. One in the first half hour that was littered with chances, and then it was littered with substitutions. 3 made between Fresno and Austin, 2 for Adam Smith, 1 for Marcelo Serrano. And it's 0-0 after 45 minutes. Gary Bailey, your thoughts on the first half?
Wow, it could have been 2-2 or any number of sort of score lines with goals in them. Lawal had a couple of chances. I think frustrating for Fresno. They didn't get at least 1 goal from all the chances they had in the first half. And they'll be hoping to get plenty of chances in the second half.
Well, we're headed to halftime. Grab a snack, grab a beverage, grab whatever you need while we sit back and relax. 0-0 between Fresno and Austin. When we come back, a very interesting story on Fresno and their team photo shoot that didn't go exactly to plan, but had a happy ending. Lozoros and the rest of the fans here at Chuck Chansey enjoying the halftime break. No goals between Fresno and Austin Bold FC. If either team win, they catapult themselves into the top 4. For Fresno, they'd be in 2nd. Austin, they would be in 3rd. However, if they are to draw, they'll more or less stay put. Tyler Terrans, along with the former Manchester United keeper Gary Bailey, will step aside and take a look at what went wrong, but what ended up so right with the Fresno team photo shoot. Well, if you're wondering why Fresno is taking their team photo shoot in a brew room, it wasn't exactly planned that way. First of all, no kegs were harmed in the making of this team photo shoot. However, the original plan for Fresno was to have the team photo shoot taken at Yosemite National Park. They got the permits and everything. However, Mother Nature sometimes doesn't like to cooperate. So it was snowing And Adam Smith was adamant that they had to take the team photo on that day. So with the help of their terrific beer partner in Tioga Sequoia and the help of Cap from Yosemite National Park, Matt and Mike with Tioga Sequoia Brewing Company, they were able to take a team photo in a brewery. Unbelievable.
And did they stay to relax afterwards in the brewery? Or
oh, we're not allowed to divulge. Not allowed to divulge. Well, we hope that maybe perhaps you will enjoy an adult beverage at halftime. Chuck Chansey, Fresno, Austin, 0-0. Don't go anywhere. And now Phoenix coming out the other way. Junior Fleming's leading the charge. Numbers forward for Phoenix. John trying to go back for Flemings. Flag stays down, back across, solo!
We're underway right off the bat. Here's Justin Dillon moving up the middle. He's going to push that ball wide toward Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a first touch cross back inside for Dillon and a goal! Less than 10 seconds.
Poku slicing through. Quadro Poku scored! Tejada again.
Lomas kicks it to his right. Crosses it underneath Miller, and it's knocked away. Spangenberg deflects it, laying out and making the save.
It's a great save against.
Acquired a backstage pass. Doyle recovers. Aduro 1-0.
Go to work to the byline, crossing in. It's a goal! Again, Jerome Kiesewetter.
It's Brayner! What a hit!
It's electric.
Into the box, a strike, and a goal. Dangerous player, perhaps in USL League One. Pepe curls! Ricardo Pepe, brilliance!
Looking to get that right foot off for an incredible one-handed save by Kevin Silva.
Developing situation, Jones. Jones on the move, Jones with a shot! Rips it off the right post. Another opportunity, and the strike is true.
J.C. Banks now, letting it rip from deep. What a save by Hara!
Team. Cablante, back of the net. 42nd minute.
Bowen, the second go, falls through. Saved by Fitzgerald. Oh, what a stop.
Awesome stuff from the USL Championship and, of course, League One. The next Wednesday night soccer edition here in the championship should be a dandy between New Mexico United and OKC Energy FC, as we're still working through Fresno and Austin Bold here at Chuck Chansey. Tyler Terrans along with Gary Bailey, the former Manchester United keeper. We'll look at some news and notes from around the league. Well, what else is new? Kevon Frater, second time this season, Player of the Week honors for his second hat-trick of this season. He had 3 goals in all of 2018. He's already got 10, and we're not even finished with the month of May. Hartford Athletic with their first ever league win. And then, of course, the Tampa Bay Rowdies continue to stay unbeaten and are looking like the favorites coming out of the Eastern Conference. Gary, we did have a little bit of player rotation as El Paso able to acquire Drew Becky, who is certainly a proven entity at this level. They bring him over from OKC Energy FC, reunited with head coach Mark Lowry. And, of course, played for Lowry at Jacksonville Armada back in 2017. Becky has made stops with the likes of Ottawa Fury, Columbus Crew, Carolina Railhawks, you name it. He's been all over the continental United States and even north of the border with the Ottawa Fury. And a look at some notable matchups. Mr. Gary Bailey, what do we like up here?
Well, if you're an Austin Bold fan, the match against New Mexico United will be a good test. Phoenix Rising, slowly getting back to their form from last season at Rail Monarchs, and Portland Timbers, El Paso. Hey, they're all good. Tampa Bay Rowdies. Is this their first loss against Swope Park Rangers?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, just putting it out there.
How about Indy 11 in Nashville? That could be a preview of the Eastern Conference Final. And Austin Bold, if they are to get 3 points tonight, that could be a battle for first place at the top of the Western Conference as well. So all sorts of storylines starting to pour out here in the USL Championship, as it is hard to believe May is coming to a close in just about a week's time. We'll step aside one more time, and when we come back, stats and highlights from the first half, and of course, the conclusion of this terrific match. Well, our director, Jonathan Tellicher, is going to be showing food trucks, and that means I'm getting a bit hungry, Gary Bailey. But the good news is that the football is about to return as we are just at the end of halftime. Here, Fresno and Austin Bold FC locked up at 0-0 after the first 45 minutes, and we'll take a look at those first 45 minutes. And Gary, there was a recurring theme, and it was on the Fresno side. Wasted chances.
Yeah, 100% well-created chances. First one coming to Kurimoto here. Got to hit target, at least force the keeper into a save. He knows it as well. He's through. Yeah, there's a white shirt on his shoulder, but he should still be able to hit the target. Jackson causing all sorts of problems here. Lovely ball through to Lawal. He goes for the very difficult pass instead of going for the shot. I thought the shot was definitely on. Lovely run, perfectly timed. Tried to pass it, couldn't find Cheney. There was one or two chances. This is a header from Andre Lima that just goes over. Actually had CJ Cochran scrambling there. Good ball in, good header from Andre Lima, just over the crossbar. And another opportunity coming in here. And it's Cullum Mallis trying to get on the end of it, and it falls eventually for Jermaine Taylor, who's not renowned for smashing them in the back of the net. So Austin Bold had a couple of chances, but always felt the better chances fell to Fresno. Here's another one. Jackson goes there. Can he shoot? He tries to pass it to Lawal, and he's thinking, maybe I should have had a shot instead. So wrong decisions made by Fresno, but at least they were creating the chances. More to come here with Lawal. Good ball in, and the keeper once again, Restrepo, just making good saves, stopping the ball from getting to Chavez. Keeper possibly the man of the match in the first half.
Well, good chances from Lawal, Jackson, but the common theme, no goals. Here's a look at the stats from the first 45 minutes. It's pretty unbelievable that Fresno had all those chances and have not forced one save out of Restrepo. He's made good plays, but no saves.
No, well, it's 8 shots for Fresno, 0 on target. And that's what it's all about, that quality in the final third. The keeper had made a couple of really good saves at feet. One of them, I think it was to Cheney. For Austin Bold, at least one shot on target. But I think both teams will feel they just didn't have that final bit of quality in the box. And they'll be hoping that second half will be different.
The one yellow card was issued to Christian Cheney, but he was taken off right around the 30-minute mark. And boy, was he not happy about that. Gary, we talked about it. There has just been a number of personnel changes, 3 between the two sides in the first half. If you're Adam Smith and Fresno, you're coming off of a great win against Los Angeles Galaxy 2. Like Austin, you have a U.S. Open Cup match coming up against your rivals in Sacramento. How do you go about handling the second half?
I think it's more of the same. I mean, they created the opportunities, and Adam Smith will be happy with that. They're just going to tuck them away. Chavez, he's good enough to do it. Yes, they'll miss Jackson. His pace down the right-hand side is important. And I think they'll miss Cheney, but maybe Adam Smith just felt it was a safer bet to get Cheney off, bearing in mind he was on a yellow. But certainly Fresno, with the team they have there, the chances they created first half, they must feel reasonably confident that at home against an Austin Bold side that doesn't travel too well, that they should be able to finish the job off. However, if you're an Austin Bold fan, you're saying, hang on a second, we had a few chances of our own. Why shouldn't we get our first away win of the season?
More pretzels, more food.
More food. Is your stomach rumbling?
You can hear it. Little flip-flop sides here at Chuck Chansey. Just a reminder, Austin in their white kits, Fresno in their navy blue. As the music soon will come to a halt, Malik Badawai will get us back underway. Again, Tyler Terrenson sitting about an inch and a half away from me in the broadcast booth, former Manchester United keeper, and Gary Bailey. Gary will be watching as a third-party observer for the Champions League final.
Why would you have to bring up something like that?
I mean,
Liverpool fans, you mention Man United, you feel you have to mention Liverpool's upcoming big match.
You're sitting right next to me. It's too easy. It's too easy.
Like I say, so far this season, you've won as many trophies as Man United.
Officially underway in the second half between Fresno and Austin. Bold, plenty on the line. Fresno with a win. Jump into second place. Austin with a win. Jump into third place. And if Austin are to get all 3 points, it sets up a terrific weekend showdown with New Mexico United with first place on the line. And both teams, Austin and New Mexico, for this weekend, also balancing U.S. Open Cup. New Mexico United coming away with a penalty kick shootout win against Phoenix Rising in the second round. And what was another instant classic between those two sides, New Mexico and Phoenix, finished 2-2. The two games that they played this year, both in the championship and in the U.S. Open Cup. Both teams have scored 5 goals. Both games ended in a draw. As this delivery the other way was not a bad one. Qudus Lawal was trying to hold off Jermaine Taylor and company. Comes Austin on the other end. Good ball forward. Troncoso will be able to get there. He whips it all the way across. And Ellis Hayden had to make the play. That's not the first time he's done that tonight. But we pick up in the second half right where we left off in the first.
I thought he was offside for a moment. Troncoso did really well as the fans are enjoying the vibe at the beginning of the second half. But when that ball was played, he seemed to be way ahead of the defense, Troncoso. But maybe he just got pace. Either way, he gets the ball in, some good defending, and Austin with the set piece.
Troncoso to the back post. Got it away by Mickey Daly. Sarah Mooten's ball back is a bit of a hospital ball. And no, that is not a typo. That was just dropped down on the score bug. Those are the amount of substitutes remaining for both sides.
Both managers, but especially Adam Smith, will be having a breakout of a sweat if any player goes down now, because there isn't much room to maneuver with one sub left on the bench for Fresno, and the 40-odd minutes still left in this game.
Tierpak, and poked away by Ellis Hayden. So solid at the right back position is Zach Ellis Hayden. Elijah Martin with some bullish work on the near side. Kiramoto, good skill, able to find Basulovic. Tell you what, I like the way that Moses and Kiramoto interact in the middle of the field, Gary.
He's good, Seth Moses. I've enjoyed his play. He's strong, he's powerful, he turns players, he runs at defenses. And alongside Kuramoto, they're a strong side. And just the loss of Jackson on that right-hand side has been a big, big loss for Fresno. He provided so much pace, so much threat, and it's up to Diego Casillas now to try and do the same in this second half.
Sulovic gives it away. Troncoso. Run out of play for a goal kick.
Very tight start to the game there in the midfield. Everyone was snapping at each other's heels. Nobody could get any space and get any play going. So typical after half-time when the managers have wound the players up, they're all full of energy and then they'll slowly get into a rhythm. And talking of rhythm, love the energy of the fans. It's amazing that they have so much fun throughout the game and it really provides a great atmosphere.
Well, they provided a great atmosphere down in Carson, California last Sunday night as well, as they just sort of invaded Dignity Health Sports Park. And it made it feel like a home game for Fresno, maybe hence the 3-0 decision on the road. Able to bounce back after the first loss of the season against Sacramento. And it must be such a boost as a player, Gary, and I'm sure you can speak to it, when the traveling Manchester United supporters would be in full voice away from Old Trafford. I'm sure it just brings your game to a different level.
Oh, absolutely, and there's a magnificent traveling fan base with most EPL sides. And it's great as a player to hear that. Good attack on the right-hand side, but not the best ball in.
It's more or less been the theme for Casillas since coming on. But he finds a great ball here for Basulovic. Stabbed away by Okugu. Moses gives it away. Well done from Austin. Kleber trying to turn, and he slips on the surface.
And appeals to the referee.
Tripped over the midway line. Martin, really well done. Chavez making the run. Lawal holds his run. Flag stays down. Great move from Lawal, puts the shot on frame. But for a keeper of Restrepo's caliber, never going to trouble him.
Yeah, kept himself on side so well, the wall there. You could see him slow down. Have a look at the replay here. When the ball comes, well, you couldn't see him, but he actually slowed it down, then cuts inside. Just the final product, not good enough. If he goes on the far side, there's a chance for Chavez to either get a toe poke on it or follow up on the keeper. But on the near side, just too easy for the keeper. Adam Smith trying to give his advice to the players, but you get the sense that Fresno at home are going to start ramping up the pressure now. Because they know that a win puts them in second. It's a great opportunity for the home side.
It's a heavy ball in from Kleber. Same on the return from Tierpak. Javier Baez. Kleber's taking a beating.
And he's appealing to the ref again. There's a surprise.
Great moves from McFarland. Trying to get around Martin. No call from the referee. And then a little bit after the fact from C.J. Cochran and the Jamaican McFarland. Lima getting into it. Del Campo trying to play peacemaker.
Both players trying to bring it down a notch because they're going to get carded. But because they've settled it down, it's going to be a yellow card for a moment there. Could very easily have been a red. It was a lunge on the keeper, and that's what the Fresno guys are saying to McFarland. He feels it was a lunge that he was entitled to make. And C.J. Cochran didn't like it. The Fresno players didn't like it. And we wait to see what the referee says. It's a yellow card for McFarland, I'm sure. It's whether it's also for C.J. Cochran for his reaction. Let's have a look at the replay. Look at the way McFarland goes for the ball when it comes in. He does throw a few body swerves, doesn't he? I nearly fell out my seat as well. And then here, now the keeper's going to get there, and he goes in for it, and he pulls the keeper onto him. So, is it worthy of a yellow card for C.J. Cochran?
I like the fact that the referee's going to, well, I initially thought he was going to keep the cards in his pocket.
Oh, now he's just thrown one out there too. Is it Andre Lima for arguing?
Yep.
What's it got to do with Lima? You've got to stay out of it. It's not your fight.
Well, not only was Lima arguing, but he was facilitating all of the scuffling, the elbows, the shoving after the fact as well.
Yeah, that's a definite. And for the keeper as well, I'm assuming. No. Definitely McFarlane for pulling CJ Cochran down onto him. You can't do that.
And so the two Austin Bold yellow cards sponsored by 5150 going to McFarlane and Lima.
But it shows there's passion in this game. Both these sides want to win it. I think the keeper, I'm just waiting to see if he's the final one in the book. CJ Cochran. I'm assuming he is for his reaction. Let's wait and see. Yeah, he's appealing to the ref, saying, "Why book me?" In he goes. There you go.
What I don't understand is why all of that took so long. It should just be Cochran,
yeah,
McFarlane, Lima. Let me write them all down. Let's go play. But it seemed like that there was a long-winded conversation.
Everybody got involved. But
yep.
As we say, it shows that both teams want to win this game. And they're prepared to get stuck in physically. And that's got to impress the managers on both sides and the fans, I would suggest. Only question is, has it sort of set things up for an explosion of emotions in the remaining just over a third of the game?
If I were a betting man, and you know I'm not, I would say yes.
Certainly got the passion of the two Brazilians up front for Austin Bold, Andre Lima and Kleber. They've been working the referee solidly in this game.
Ellis Hayden with some great work over on the right flank. Sends it all the way across, shouts for a handball. Gary Bailey says maybe.
A yellow card was also
thought the left arm of Jermaine Taylor's sort of begun to come out. It's not been given, and I'm sure he's very relieved.
Here's another corner kick sponsored by Central Valley Toyota Dealers. Scoring opportunity, so Fresno, let's go!
Another Toyota corner kick. Nobody's been on them with the exception of Basulovic. Touch from Kuramoto, and Restrepo makes the easy play.
I'll go back to that first half. He made a double save, I think, at the feet of Cheney and then Lawal. Excellent goalkeeping, really crucial to keep his team in this game, and he's kept the clean sheet, which means if he continues to keep a clean sheet, it just needs one moment from Austin Bold, and they could possibly walk away with all 3 points.
Sarah Mooten. He replaced DeMar Phillips in the first half. And good shield off from Elijah Martin.
He's impressed me, Elijah Martin. He's very quick. He's spread the ball from one side of the pitch to the other with some beautiful passes. He's shown some tricks. And a very, very bright player for Fresno.
22 years of age, Elijah Martin. Actually turned 23 this summer in July. Came up to the Los Angeles Galaxy Academy, as well as the IMG Academy down in Florida. Chavez tried to help it along. Casillas more of the same. Chavez somehow gets it away for Casillas, but that ball is way too close to Restrepo.
You can see what Casillas was trying to do there and get Lawal into the game. We haven't seen much of Lawal in the second half. He was a major player in the first 30 minutes, causing all sorts of havoc in that Austin Bold defense. I guess the sort of suggestion from Coach Adam Smith is to get Lawal more into the game in the second half, but it hasn't happened as yet.
Martin applying the pressure on the near side. Sarah Mooten goes into negative fashion. McFarland. Tierpak lets it run through. Moses trying to fend off Baez. Kleber jousting with Ellis Hayden, and Ellis Hayden called for the foul. Prime real estate here for Austin as we've reached the 60th minute.
Everyone gathering around the referee, putting their case. I think the referee must be getting very tired of the constant arguments and debates and having to tell everyone what to do. Could test anybody's patience.
Test my patience when you tell me what to do.
Would I ever?
We'll see if Liverpool wins June 1st.
Changing the subject quickly. Andre Lima still arguing with the referee there. Look, he's still talking to him. There's a very subtle way of working the ref, and you can't push it too far because he's already on a yellow, Andre Lima.
Driven straight into the wall by Callum Alice. His delivery tonight has not been up to the standard we're used to from the 29-year-old out of Scotland. Last touch should have been off of McFarland. Adam Smith was right there, and he's claiming it actually came off the Jamaican. It certainly looked that way, but typical call to make for the assistant referee, who was standing on the front side of Martin.
Difficult for Austin Bold to really get behind the Fresno defense. Set pieces, have managed a few good balls in the box, but other than that, they don't have the pace up front with Andre Lima and Kleber, so they can't use pace. They need McFarland on the right-hand side. He's the man with the pace, but he's not been able to get down there often enough. So you get the sense that Fresno defensively feel that they've got the measure of Austin Bold, except obviously, as I mentioned, from set pieces when it's difficult to mark Andre Lima and Kleber.
Back for Tierpak. Run at the far post from Troncoso, comes to the near post, and the ball skips all the way through.
And as I mentioned that they haven't got behind the defense, what are they going to do? They get right behind the defense and create a fantastic opportunity. Let's have a look at it again. Lovely ball being played through there for Tierpak. He has the pace to get round the back. He puts a lovely ball in. That was very, very close. Tight angle, but very close for Troncoso.
Just dumped back in by Austin. Easy enough for CJ Cochran. Would it behoove Austin to find the feet of Chris Tierpak a bit more? Because it seems like whenever the ball finds his feet, there's some sort of delivery that's getting across the penalty area.
Yeah, he has the pace to get behind that back four. The big two up front don't. And so far, we've only really seen Sean McFarland and a little bit of Tierpak. Those are the two with the pace. And yes, if they can get them forward, it's going to help create opportunities for Austin Bold.
Moses was trying to find Basulovic. Taylor takes the safe route. Good step from Mickey Daly, who wants to join in on the attacking fun. Casillas towards the back post, and Restrepo read it well.
Good call from the goalkeeper, took charge there, and he's able to start the quick counter attack with McFarland.
Kleber pushes one into space, but it's too close to Ellis Hayden, and he puts it into the path perfectly for Chavez to be able to run onto it. Uses Casillas as a decoy. Ellis Hayden now on a bad ball in. The veteran Taylor wins the header. And Gary, that's what this Austin team, not particularly on the road as much, still searching for their first win away from Austin, but they do just enough to defending to get by, and then they find themselves in 1 or 2 opportunities throughout the match to be able to perhaps sneak away with 3 points, and it certainly looks that way at the moment. Tierpak try to get it back from McFarland, and a good challenge from Elijah Martin. Okugu stepping up, Chavez goes to ground. Okugu comes away with it.
It was a good challenge from Okugu because they were on the counter-attack, Fresno, and Austin Bold had thrown a lot of bodies forward. The big central defender popped up, grabbed the ball, and was able to start another attack for Austin Bold. And you're right, they certainly have the players to win these matches, Austin Bold. They have some pace, they have a lot of skill. And if they did win it, you would have to say that Fresno could only blame themselves. They've had the opportunities to be 2 or 3 up by this stage.
Long throw in from McFarland, not a bad one, it bounces. Vasilovic was trying to play it out himself. Chavez just bullies his way through, didn't know much about where the ball was located. Ellis Hayden trying to turn the corner, and he's fouled by Troncoso. Pardon me, he was not fouled. It looked for a moment like they got tangled up, and that's why the crowd here at Chuck Chansey is up in arms.
Adam Smith's asking the question, was it a foul? In the end, referee says no, and that's it. On they get with the game. There's a chance for a counter-attack.
Qudus Lawal in a foot race with Jermaine Taylor. Lawal puts on the brakes and circles back around. Gets it away for Moses.
There's a little chance there where Chavez had got free,
What a
and if Lawal could have found him, that could have been the breakthrough goal. Lawal so dangerous on that counter-attack. That's what Fresno need. I've got to be honest, since Christian Chaney went off, they haven't been as effective up front. And again, if it was a tactical decision by Adam Smith, they've lost something with Chaney's strength and his ability, and he was causing constant problems so far. Chavez hasn't caused anywhere near the same level of problems.
Juan Pablo Caffa getting set to come on as the last substitute for Fresno.
The man who's got a wand for a left foot. What a player he is. Is that an English expression, a wand for a left foot?
I love it.
You love it.
I heard you say it in the Orange County game when he scored that great free kick, and I was like,
Yes.
Gary, you're up to your usual tricks.
He's a beautiful striker of the ball, the Argentinian. Early 30s now, I think 34-ish.
Is that early 30s nowadays?
Yeah. If you're in your 30s, you say it's
Early 30s. And Gary, you thought initially that Adam Smith might hang on to that substitution just as an insurance to perhaps use if one more player was to go down, but he's going to use it here in the 68th minute. Seth Moses coming off, so you pretty much know the intentions of Adam Smith at this point. It's to go after and win this game. Caffa coming on in the 68th.
Yeah, and it's a nice positive move, but it does have a level of risk attached to it. If anyone gets injured now, you're down to 10 men for the last 20-odd minutes. But if you want to win games as a manager, you've got to take certain risks, and that's what Adam Smith has decided to do. And time will tell if it was a worthwhile risk or not.
Well, if you don't risk it, you can't get the South African biscuit. Is that how the saying goes?
Not quite, but
okay.
We'll go with it, make you feel happy.
Great little touch from Lawal. Chavez goes back for the youngster. Has it taken away. Just not seeing that authority that we thought we might see from Chavez. He had that, as Adam Smith put it, niggling injury that hindered him for a few weeks. Still trying to get back into true match form as well as match fitness.
He hasn't had an impact as yet, and even then, a minute ago when he got the ball, instead of running at the defense, he tried to pass it and lay it off, and you're right, maybe that's still a case of settling back into it and getting your your belief and confidence back. But certainly nowhere near the same impact that Christian Cheney had first 20 minutes, but maybe Chavez can still do something.
Now here's Tierpak. Isaac Promise getting set to come on. Vasilovic. Back for Juan Pablo Caffa. Now Fresno making camp in Austin Bowl territory. Caffa bends it in. Here's Chavez! Wrong side of the post.
What a chance, Chavez. You've got to at least hit target from there. Who does the pass come from? The man with the magic wand of a left foot. And that's an absolutely brilliant pass there from Juan Pablo Caffa. But Chavez has got to do better. At least hit target. If the keeper makes a save, you can say, well, the keeper pulled out a brilliant save. But if you don't even hit target.
Substitution for Austin Bold FC.
So Isaac Promise coming on,
game,
Chris Tierpak coming off.
Chris Tierpak. And entering the
Promise,
game, number 11, Isaac
up until coming
Promise.
over to the United States, spent a number of years in Turkey since 2005. And here is Promise keeping the ball in play. He whips one across. Balls for Saramutin. Now comes out wide for McFarland. That's a great idea in the outside of his right foot, but always going out of play.
That was something different, wasn't it? Normally he goes down the line and hooks it in with the inside of his foot. This time, with the outside of the foot, he just couldn't quite find the strikers in the box. But still, chances for both sides. No breakthrough as yet. And if you look at all the chances, that one we saw a minute or two ago from Chavez is probably the best chance of the match.
Fresno looking for a foul. They're not going to get one. Then Casillas returns the favor.
The referee's had some decisions to make today, and he hasn't always pleased the players or managers on both sides. Not that you ever can as a referee.
We talked about the art of getting into the referee's head, and Marcelo Serrano is going about the nice cop route. Maybe telling his latest knock-knock joke to our fourth official.
As a promise, the ball hasn't crossed the line, and it should be a corner. Once again, the referee not popular. A crucial phase of the game, obviously. At 0-0, anyone who scores before the end of this match could very well be the winning goal. So any mistakes are going to be crucial. Any opportunities have got to be taken. And there's big rewards, a chance to go into the top 3 for either of these sides that win this game.
Falls for Vasilovic. Juan Pablo Caffa now. Gets it on that left foot. Actually ends up cutting it back to his right. It's a great move. And he was held up, and now it'll be a set piece, and especially with Caffa on the field now, it becomes that much more of a problem for Austin.
It certainly does. He's going to put a ball in the box. It's going to cause problems, no question about that. In fact, we saw him score from a free kick a couple of weeks ago. What a great strike that was. This angle, very difficult to score, but certainly you can bend it towards the goals and hope that a defender gets a touch on it, or one of your own strikers does. And that probably is where this is going to go, over the wall towards Restrepo's goal.
Caffa, good ball in, and actually snuck underneath the feet of Qudus Lawal. Falls for the Nigerian. Kuramoto back in. Del Campo offside.
Good idea, wasn't it? Just didn't quite work out for Fresno. More frustration for the home side and the home fans in particular. But that's what he gives you when he comes on the pitch. Juan Pablo Cuffe, any set piece, anywhere around the box, you could put in a ball that will cause all sorts of problems. But even the missed chances hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of the crowd.
Kleber continuing to bark at our official, Malik Badawai.
And then Andre Lima batting on his behalf and complaining. Constant working of the referee. I think if I was a referee, I'd just put earplugs in. Have a look here.
Got stepped on by his own player.
I'm going to say that's sure. That was Sarah Mooten who actually, I think, makes the tackle in the end on his own player. Now there's pushing and shoving and arguing and blaming and looking to wind each other up.
Well, both Kleber and Lima are firecrackers up top for Austin.
Yeah. They're going to appeal for everything. It's just part of their game, and the referee's just got to ignore it, get on with it, give the free kicks and make his decisions. Easier said than done, and I do admire referees. It's never, you never get liked by either side. Both sides will always have complaints about you. It looks like it's a drop ball, not a free kick.
An old-fashioned drop ball.
So it seems.
Austin are going to say, you can have it.
And box you into your half of the pitch. Right, 15 minutes to go to see if we can get a winner out of this. Not so sure that a draw really does much for either side. They've both got intentions of getting right up near the top where the excitement is.
Kleber gets it away. It's a bit too close to Martin, who stands his ground beautifully. But the foul's going to be called.
Yeah, on Sarah Mooten. Maybe so. I think Sarah Mooten had just got the ball past the defender before he was brought down. Adam Smith having his say as to what he thinks it should be.
Well, he was saying to the fourth official, you got to be kidding me. He's about half his size. How could he have knocked him over? Great job by our crew, producer, my Zintec director, Jonathan Tellicher, replay operator, Manny Simone. Capturing every moment for you on a beautiful Wednesday night in Fresno, California. Baez whips it in, and the header steered close to frame by Sean McFarland, but just over the bar.
Does well to get up and get the header. But again, that's a little bit of quality in the final moment to put the keeper under pressure, isn't there? And it hasn't been this entire match for either side. So much good build-up play, so many good opportunities. Have a look. Gets up so well, McFarland. Jumps up. Just can't even force the keeper into a save. I just wonder if in this last 12 minutes or so, somebody's going to come up with that little moment of magic that settles this match.
Here's Isaac Promise, the Nigerian. Trying to get to the outside. Elijah Martin, terrific defending as usual. And CJ Cochran is saying, let's go. We want a game winner.
I can see us complaining that he got an elbow in the face from Isaac Promise. He wanted a foul but didn't get it. Who wants it the most? Who's prepared to run themselves into the ground in these last 10 minutes or so? Boston Bold looking for their first away win, or Fresno looking to continue a really good run and get themselves up into second position in the Western Conference.
Chavez winning the header. Lawal brings it down, but it's offside.
He did well first half, Lawal, keeping himself onside, timing his runs. A little bit lazier in the second half. Maybe he's a bit tired. But like I say, without Cheney up front, he hasn't been anywhere near as effective. I think it was an accidental standing on the face there of Casillas, but he's milking it for everything he can.
No love lost between these two sides that are meeting for the first time, of course, Austin in their first season.
Oh, good commitment, good commitment from both sides.
Well, it should be noted that Adam Smith and Marcelo Serrano know each other prior to their days in the USL Championship. They both coached ODP over in the middle of the country in Iowa together. And Adam Smith said, of course, during the 90 minutes, they will not be friends, but as soon as the final whistle blows, perhaps a drink after the game, Marcelo will get a little tour of the Chuck Chansey Park and locker room.
Tonight's Chevron $50 gas card.
I think the conversation between those two is going to be, how come there wasn't a goal in this game? Good goalkeeping from Restrepo, definitely in the first half, to keep his clean sheet, but both teams have had good opportunities and just haven't been able to find that little bit of quality. I think that's going to be a big conversation point between the two managers.
Kleber trying to get the return. Saramutin now. Saramutin almost latching on to his own pass that was intended for Isaac Promise. The restart from Cochran was actually blocked, but it didn't look like it was all that intentional, or at least on the surface it didn't. I'm sure Lima had other ideas.
It was definitely intentional, but both players have to be careful. Both Lima and CJ Cochran on yellows. Cochran, he knew that Andre Lima was blocking him, so he took it quickly to show the referee was being blocked.
It was just announced. A little bit north of 90,000 in attendance for this game.
Hold the ball.
Good turnout, and I'm sure they've been entertained. Of course, they would love goals, but there's been chances for both sides, plenty of them. Maybe here's another one.
Chavez finding Casillas. Tried to lay it off for Kaffa. Elijah Martin now. Nice little head fake. Vasilovic lost one in. Lawal, was there a high foot? No, there was not.
I think there was, just wasn't given. Referee Lawal went to head that ball. I saw a big boot come up. Did Lawal's head go down, perhaps? He didn't complain too much, so let's have a look. Ball comes in, lovely ball, and McFarlane puts a toe up. It's close.
Then it'll be Sonny Guadarrama replacing Andre Lima here in the 83rd.
Entering the game,
as the final substitution for either side. Guadarrama, of course, had that wonder strike of a game winner against Phoenix for a 1-0 win against the reigning Western Conference champions. 32-year-old Austin native. Spent most of his career in Mexico. A super sub-like impact, perhaps, for Marcelo Serrano. That'll give Austin their first road win in franchise history. Ball for Lawal over the top. It finds Casillas. He makes a good move to the outside. Back to his right, lofts it in. The header is in! It's Kudus Lawal again, and it's surely a game winner in the 84th.
Great bit of skill, isn't it? Absolutely wonderful. Casillas, give him credit as the fans celebrate. It was his creativity around the edge of the box that made it possible, but how did Lawal get that one in? It seemed like at his back to play, and he twisted and turned. I'd like to see the replay on that. But you're quite right, with 6 minutes to go, you've got to be thinking this is the game winner for Fresno. It takes him right up into second place. And on the balance of chances, you've got to say it probably is a fair outcome if it remains like this. Let's have a look again. Lawal starts it there, knocks it to Casillas. He's got some good skills. Firstly there, he turns one way, comes back on that right foot, knocks it in. And then the header off the crossbar from Lawal. Absolutely brilliant. Have a look at it here. Ball goes up. He turns. He's got his back to play. That is a fantastic finish from the Nigerian. And Adam Smith did say, expect the unexpected from this man. Well, there is the unexpected.
Kudus Lawal, who had yet to score a goal for the Foxes, heading into the Fresno game, now has 4 in the last 3. Of course, a yellow card issued to Lawal for taking off his shirt, but the celebration certainly worth the discipline.
Now it's all about winding down the clock for Fresno. 1-0 up, 5 minutes or so to go. No rush to do anything. You want to get the ball down the other end of the pitch and just keep it there and let the clock tick down, which is exactly what CJ Cochran's doing now. It really has been a great battle between two very good sides here tonight. Physical battle, commitment.
Vasilovic felt like he was taken down. Referee says play on. Austin now scrambling for an equalizer. And trying to avoid what would be their 4th loss away from home. Throwing 2 draws and a big old 0 in the win column.
Well taken by the keeper there. That's what you need. Big ball into the box. Seconds ticking and your keeper comes and takes it, and then early throw, you got possession. Your position having to funnel back. And really, you would expect Fresno from here just to see this match to a conclusion, end it professionally. What a good start it would be for this team. What finished 12th last season? Now going to be sitting in 2nd position with games in hand, I might add.
Well, Gary, you mentioned it. Those injuries open up a window of opportunity for some players to step in. Kudus Lawal was in the starting 11, and he's been playing some lights-out football. But how about Diego Casillas coming away with his first professional assist on that play? And I think he would probably agree has not had his best game tonight. He's had a number of opportunities to deliver passes on point. He did not do so, but makes a great play in a huge spot in the 84th minute and was able to find the head of Kudus Lawal.
Yeah, lovely skills from Casillas. He has beautiful touch on the ball, and it made it all possible for Lawal. But Lawal at his back to goal, the quality of that header to turn and get it in with pace off the crossbar. That is a fantastic finish. And as you were saying, we spoke to Adam Smith during the week, and he said that Lawal is one of these players that was a great find in the off-season when they were touring in an exhibition match. They had a look at him, the Nigerian, and they're not quite sure what he's capable of. So clearly defenders won't know either. And have a look at that finish today. Not many players in the USL Championship could have finished it the way he did. That was real class.
And Adam Smith basically said to the youngster, he said, if you keep scoring goals, you're going to continue to have the shirt. It's as simple as that. We're playing a 4-4-2 and you're a striker. You better be putting the ball in the back of the net. And he certainly has been doing that at an extremely high clip as of late. Here's Casillas again. Tried to get it in for Vasilovic and wanted the return. Good work from Sonny Gorawama.
Clock ticking down for Austin Bold. Not much time left now.
Kleber. Moving Chavez. Everybody back behind the ball now for Fresno. Even Qudis Lawal puts in a good challenge. And we're officially in the 90th minute. Lawal put in a tackle. He felt like it came off of Amobi Okugo.
Good pressure though. Lawal's won the ball twice, pressurizing there as well. Forcing the early kick and then trying to win the ball. He certainly is putting in a shift, Lawal.
Saramutin, met by Elijah Martin. Here comes Diego Casillas in support. And the Mexican comes away with it. He was taken down, and a free kick coming up for Fresno.
Casillas going down, he felt the faintest of touches and played for the free kick, but that's what you got to do. Slow things down, it's clever play. The clock is ticking down. Let's see how many extra minutes we're going to add on here, but
we're hearing 4 minutes to be added on. And the fourth official making it official. Strong header from Ellis Hayden. Everybody forward now for Austin. Numbers back behind the ball for Fresno. As it stands, the Foxes will move into second place, a point behind the leaders in New Mexico United.
They're going to be so happy with that, and Adam Smith will be delighted. So will all the players. It's really been a committed performance by both sides, not just Fresno, but in the weight of opportunities, especially if you take into account the first half, 2 or 3 good saves from Restrepo. I think 1-0 is probably a fair result. Austin Bold are still a decent team, but they'll know that they have to improve a little bit if they're going to end up in those sort of top 4 or 5 positions. Of course, the top 10 go into the playoffs, so 4 good weeks ahead where they can improve and build, and they are a new outfit being put together, so we have to give them a little bit of slack there. Austin Bold. I think the only player who's not going to be happy on this Fresno side is Christian Cheney for coming off in the 30th minute, and he was not happy about that. I've got to be honest and say that without him they have not been as effective up front.
It certainly does look that way, but you have to imagine that 3 points will ease the pain just a bit for the big striker who was taken off around the 30-minute mark.
Good hustling there from Austin Bold to get the ball back.
And here's Guadarrama. Is there late drama in this one? For now, the answer is no, and we're halfway through the 4 minutes added on as the offside flag was up.
You see Del Campo there, getting the fans behind him there for the last couple of minutes. There they go. They have been wonderful all evening long. And they've got their just reward now, the 3 points.
Here's Basulovic. And the effort stopped in front by Restrepo.
I think for me, Restrepo has been the best Austin Bold player this evening. Goalkeeper's been crucial to keeping his team in with a shout right up until the end.
Good play from Elijah Martin, as McFarland surely would have been in. Final minute now. Baez trying to get it out wide. Kleber on the first time, falls for McFarland. Martin another touch, Guadarrama. And Los Zorros can start to sense their first back-to-back wins of 2019.
I'm just looking at McFarland thinking, surely you hit that ball when it comes to you, don't dribble in the box. It's an opportunity to force the goalkeeper to make a save, and it's not taken. That could have been the last opportunity for Austin Bold. if it is gonna be a win for Fresno, it's gonna be a hard-won win, one in which they'll know they've been in the game physically and mentally. Austin Boulder made it very difficult for the home side.
Juan Pablo Caffa. It's just academic now for Fresno. Into the 5th minute of stoppage time. Casillas will just drag it to the corner. Vasulovic, Martin, full time. Fresno for the first time in 2019 win back-to-back games. Qudis Lawal, the game winner in the 84th, and they leapfrog into 2nd place, a point behind the leaders in the Western Conference in New Mexico United.
Adam Smith delighted there, yeah, you can see fist pumping there, and what a good win it is for them at home. But the winning goal, Lawal, was absolutely superb. And Casillas with the setup there, the fans love it. And it's been a tough one. There's Lawal in the middle. What a good finish that was. And Casillas getting a hug for the setup. They had enough chances first half to score, but it came eventually right towards the end of the match. And good to see, after all the physical battles, hugs between the players on opposite sides. And it was good commitment from both teams tonight.
Qudis Lawal is your man of the match, presented by El Mexicano. 4 goals in the last 3 matches for the young Nigerian, who came on for a trial and is proving to be a massive pickup for Adam Smith. And it is our moment of the match, his 84th minute game winner, presented by McCarty Insurance.
Casillas with a build-up, but it's the finish. Have a look, Casillas, good bit of skill, comes inside, goes back the other way, chips it up to Lawal, but to head it in with your back to goal from that angle off the crossbar, absolutely brilliant.
Qudis Lawal continues to score goals. He continues to help Fresno in this terrific start to 2019. Cheney taken out in the 30th minute. Chavez has not been himself, but up steps Qudis Lawal. Cometh the moment, cometh the Nigerian. It's a 1-0 finish here at Chuck Chansey over Austin Bold FC. We'll be back in a moment to put a bow on it. Full time here at Chuck Chansey. Fuego certainly loving every minute of it. The fans here loving every minute of it. And why not? Currently sitting in 2nd place in the Western Conference of the USL Championship. And we'll take a look at tonight's save of the game, brought to you by BMW. Stop by and test drive the all-new 2019 BMW 3 Series at BMW Fresno. And it comes courtesy of CJ Cochran. And a little bit of extracurricular activity as well.
It's a brave save. That's why it's been picked as the best save from CJ Cochran. Had to get there at the feet of McFarland, make sure that he got the ball. Yes, he gets yellow carded for all the stuff that followed it, but it was a good save.
And here's tonight's Zoom image of the match, presented by Zoom Imaging Solutions. And look at Qudis Lawal just doing his thing.
Yeah, look at the strength in those legs as well, especially that left leg. He's got power, he's got pace, Lawal, and that strength. And he got the crucial, vital goal in tonight's match.
And speaking of tonight's match, why don't we take a look at how it all went down? Tyler Terrence along with the former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey. And Gary, I mean, first half was just a story of Fresno and how they simply could not capitalize on their chances. You move to the second half, you had 3 substitutes at the end of the first half. It didn't have the same feel in the second half, and you actually thought that Austin might go on and get it. They had a nice little pocket of space from about the 70th to 80th minute where they looked like they might get the game winner, but it ended up being Fresno, Qudis Lawal. It was just a terrific performance in the end to grind it out.
Certainly was. Here's one of the best chances there. It falls to Chavez, doesn't even hit target. And at that point, you're thinking, are we actually going to get a goal? Beautiful ball in from Juan Pablo Caffa, and Chavez misses that chance. And we think of all the chances they've had, it's not going to go in the back of the net. And then this happens. Lawal plays it to Casillas. Little trick, goes left, comes back on his right, finds Lawal. And how do you get the ball in from that position with your head? That is a fantastic finish.
Qudis Lawal with his 4th goal in all competitions. Again, he came into the Los Dos game not having scored in a Fresno uniform. Since then, 4 goals in 3 matches. Unbelievable from the Nigerian. Fresno, again, not scoring at an incredibly high rate, but they're scoring critical goals in critical moments.
Yes, and they've got the shots on target at half-time. For Fresno, 0 shots on target. They are up 3 shots on target to 1, which Austin Bold got in the first half. So for Austin Bold, not enough in the second half at all. And for Fresno, well done. They came back, they got the efforts they wanted on target, and eventually 1 went in. So I reckon they shaded it, Fresno. They deserved the win. And they're going to be a happy team sat in 2nd position in the Western Conference.
And Austin Bold still in search of their first road win in club history as they now drop to 0-4-2 on the road. Overall, they drop to 4-4-3. They're still within the playoff cutoff line, but a massive match against the Western Conference leaders in New Mexico United coming up at the weekend. Fresno will travel to Tacoma. It was a night that probably should have been filled with goals, especially in the first half, but we had to wait until the 84th, but it certainly was worth the wait. Qudis Lawal with the game winner, Fresno with back-to-back wins. For our entire crew, producer Wes Zintek, replay operator Manny Simone, director John Telletier and Gary Bailey, Tyler Terrence saying so long for now.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.